Now, the White House has announced that as part of President Trump's large-scale law enforcement surge, around 850 officers and agents were deployed across Washington, D.C. last night.
And this resulted in 23 arrests along with several additional contacts. Oval Office called it only the beginning.
These arrests consisted of homicide, firearms offenses, possession with intent to distribute narcotics, fare evasion, lewd acts, stalking, possession of a high-capacity magazine, fleeing to elude in a vehicle, no permits, driving under the influence, reckless driving, and a bench warrant. A total of 6 illegal handguns were seized off of District of Columbia streets as part of last night's effort.
White House press secretary also said that the federal control of D.C.'s police may last beyond 30 days, after which the administration will reassess before deciding next steps.
As for the timing, we will reevaluate and reassess and make further decisions after this 30-day period is up. But within these 30 days, our entire focus is making sure that this is the most efficient operation possible and that we are removing as many criminals from the streets and we are cleaning up D.C. as best as we can and working with the Metropolitan Police Department to do that.
The Guard members were seen arriving at the D.C. Armory, and this comes one day after the president announced that he would also take temporary control of the city's police department. Federal takeover of police department is allowed for up to 1 month. Beyond that, it will require congressional approval.
This is only the beginning. Over the course of the next month, the Trump administration will relentlessly pursue and arrest every violent criminal in the district who breaks the law, undermines public safety, and endangers law-abiding Americans. President Trump will not be deterred by soft-on-crime Democrats and media activists who refuse to acknowledge this rampant violence on our streets.
Washington D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says that the city will aim to make the most of the increase in federal resources.
And also framed Tuesday's deployment in a positive light, despite previously describing the move as unsettling and unprecedented. Take a listen.
I'm focused on is the federal surge and how to make the most of the additional officer support that we have. We have the best in the business in MPD and Chief Pamela Smith to lead that effort and to make sure that the men and women who are coming from federal law enforcement are being well used, and that if there's National Guard here, that they're being well used.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams also rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion that the federal government could take over the city's police department, saying crime was under control.
And so if the White House wants to help us in what we're doing to continue our success, and if we can help other cities, municipalities, they may want to ask us to come in and help other cities. We're willing to go into other cities and help them as well. But we don't need anyone to come in and take over.
Unlike National Guard units in other states, National Guards in the Capitol is always under presidential command and can be deployed without the consent of local government. Post-Comatis Act limits the use of military for domestic law enforcement, but the Justice Department has long held that this ban does not apply to the D.C. Guard.
Now, this is not the first time that Trump has flexed his special powers. A federal trial is already underway in San Francisco, questioning whether his earlier deployment of National Guard troops to Los Angeles was even legal without the state governor's approval.
Everything's always bad.
And there is more on this from our correspondent Susan, who sends us this report from New York.
In Washington, D.C., the first wave of National Guard troops began arriving this morning under President Trump's new federal crime control order. Camouflage vehicles rolled into the Capitol, and uniformed Guard members fanned out alongside D.C. police as part of a month-long crime emergency declared by the White House. Trump has taken temporary control of the Metropolitan Police Department, citing public safety concerns, despite the city reporting its lowest violent crime in decades, although that number is still very high. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser called the move unsettling, but said that she will cooperate, stressing that the local police chief remains in command. The federal forces wasted no time making arrests for homicide, gun charges, as well as fare evasion in the first hours, marking a rare federal takeover of city policing. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.